800. Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Are you currently renting a home? Do you like paying someone else's mortgage payment? Why not explore the options to purchase your own home? Can you imagine a 30-year fixed-rate loan below 4.25% APR? This means with $10,500, you can purchase a $295,000 home and have a principal and interest payment of about $1,400 per month. What are you paying in rent? Does your family deserve the opportunity to take advantage of the current market? To learn more about these exciting opportunities, the Siegel lending team is standing by to speak with you. Call now, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Or 1-800-306-1990. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender. Not endorsed or sponsored by any government agency.
Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Do you have a goal of mortgage-free mortgage? What if your home was valued at $500,000? Are you aware that a free and clear home could be costing you $2,500 every month, $30,000 per year? A mortgage
I'm sorry.
The Siegel Lending Team would like to show you how you can own your home, generate tax-free income, and accumulate family wealth. You simply need to call the Ron Siegel team at 1-800-306-1990.
And I made a lot of money in Atlantic City, and I'm very proud of it.
By sending the team a copy of your most recent mortgage statement, the team will send you a no-obligation real estate plan. You be the judge if this is right for your family. Again, all you have to do is send the team a copy of your mortgage statement by email to RonSiegelRadio.com or call today.
Let's
Ron
go
Siegel, 1990.
Subject to change and without notice. Licensed by the California DOC and BRE NMLS 217037 and 145502 and Cal BRE 0186945 and 1866775.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries. As we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media, this is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We have a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. But before we get to our intriguing content today, please join me in welcoming our featured guest, repeat offender. Deborah Sweet is in the house. Welcome. Glad to have you with us.
I'm glad to be
We're
here.
having a good time. And I have one of my boys here.
Thank you, Mr. President. He dropped in on that wedding. I didn't know he was going to drop in on us today.
That's awesome.
That good stuff. Let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you. Then you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Just remember that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are no operators standing by. I am it. I guess.
I was going to say you rock.
I guess my guys are not with me today. I wonder where maybe is this Monday morning? I wonder if it's Monday morning and they are still sleeping. They didn't know we were broadcasting live here on Ron Siegel Radio in the morning. But we will see if we can get them to wake up. It says that it's played, but I guess I am not hearing anything. Okay, so I guess we're going quiet today.
Oh no, I'm here. We'll never be quiet.
Yeah, exactly. We're not going to go too quiet. But our applause meter is gone. We've got to. There we go.
This is old school. We can do it old school.
Old school. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna continue on. While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan, a plan to save you money, I personally work with you, even if you don't have any needs today. Save this number in your phone for future reference. 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990. We are celebrating today, and we celebrate every day. I looked at the celebrations today, and thank goodness there is glass between me and the famous Miss Christie. When she helps me out with these celebrations here, we look at them, and I saw today that we had some interesting celebrations of the day, and I couldn't believe this one. Does anybody in their right mind really celebrate National Rat Catchers Day? I got a big thumbs down on that one. National Rat Catcher. I can't. What do you do to celebrate that?
I go, ooh.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know how you celebrate.
Maybe say thank you.
Say thank you. What if you're the rat or the catcher?
No, say thank you to the catcher.
Okay.
Right? Because somebody's got to be out there taking care of them.
I guess I can't figure that one out. I don't know.
That would be one of those dirty jobs.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, very dirty.
Very dirty.
Now, with the other two items of the day, these are pretty good ones, though. National Hammock Day.
Okay.
Now, I can go with a hammock. How do you have a hammock day on Monday, though? Right? I mean, a hammock, you need that on Saturday. You need that on Sunday. You need that with a martini or something along those lines. Then you can increase the desire for National Hammock Day. Get a little sleeping out there in the park or by the pool or whatever. But having beaten anorexia, I think we still need to go with Penucci Day, National Penucci Fudge Day.
And that looks really good.
Doesn't that look good?
That looks really good. That'd be close competition to Grandma's fudge.
And creamy can't.
We have to pass
Whoa.
so that you can
It was the
find
fudge that
out
woke
what
him up.
Yeah, woke up the whole soundboard all of a sudden this morning. National Penucci Day. It's a creamy candy with an Italian name, maple flavored, nut filled fudge. How do you go wrong with that one? I'll take that any time of the day. I wonder if they have that on my hammock. No, I'll throw that back.
Good.
Yeah, right? Moving right along, let's take a look at the markets today. The Dow Jones Industrial Average started the day up, but it has fizzed out down 29 points as we speak. Yeah, falling southbound. S&P 500 is up 299. NASDAQ up 39.89. Oil up 57 cents a barrel. We'll talk about that in a minute. Gasoline, we'll look at the national average, 276.7. In Calizuela, 371.2. So we're paying a lot more than the national average for gasoline. In the oil-producing state of Hawaii, they're about a nickel a gallon cheaper than we are. And if you want cheap gasoline, or actually more logically priced gasoline, 238.8 in Mississippi. Yeah, well, I guess we can't go to Mississippi and get gas. My car will probably need 3 tanks on the way there. Yeah, Alex, you can look at your 401k. They sell some options against the holdings. That's just what I do. I'll just throw that in there.
Look, don't worry. Everything's going to be fine. Trust me.
There you go, Alex. That'll work for you right there, buddy. Let's look at the rates going on today. The 10-year Treasury down 2 basis points. 2.03 is the yield there. Germany, yeah, they're going down even further. You don't get your money back when you invest in a 10-year bond in Germany. You don't get your money back when you invest in a 10-year Japanese note. They keep a part of it. If you ever get your money back in Italy, well, you get 1.66 is the yield there, but you don't know if you're going to get that money back. Spain, 0.40, UK, 0.71. Boy, it's a fascinating story out there. Now, what's causing all of this, though, is really where it's coming. Now, the Federal Reserve, they're going to be quiet this week and most of next week. Not because they want to be quiet. The real reason is, they're in the quiet period before their meeting on the 31st of the month, so they have to be quiet. But we did see the Boston Fed chair on Friday was asking, why are we decreasing interest rates? What's the purpose of that? I think he understands the logic, but he says, is it a insurance policy? And if there's an insurance policy, doesn't it mean it's an expense? Isn't it a cost of doing business? So we're going to be watching that. A couple of the Fed people are not excited about the cuts. So we'll see what's going on there. Let's look and see what else is going on in the news today. I always love when I see that Chuck Schumer is in the news.
I got a bad feeling about this.
So he decided to work for a change. He went down to the border over the weekend to see if there is a crisis. He said in January there was no crisis, and today the conditions are inhumane. Now, I wonder how that all changed so quickly. And just throwing that out there, isn't he the minority leader of the United States Senate that is doing absolutely nothing? Doesn't he have the opportunity to talk to Nancy Pelosi, who is very, very good at doing absolutely nothing? I'm just throwing that out there. They're the ones.
But we have to pass the bill so that you can find out what is in it.
Yeah, well, we know what's in it, Mrs. Pelosi. The only thing that you've done so far this year is things that you know will not pass the Senate. So keep on wasting time. You're doing a great job of that, at least. You are very proficient in getting nothing done. I wonder if they can have another vote on impeaching the president. Even the Democrats don't like that idea, but we did see Jerry Nadler. Now, this is a fascinating story because Jerry Nadler, he's the chairman of the House Judiciary Committee. He and Donald Trump have not gotten along in decades, but he's now in charge of the investigation against the president. And they're going to have Robert Mueller on the stand this week. He's going to go and read 417 pages of testimony. Now, isn't that exciting? I mean, that's about as good as you get in the United States House of Representatives. Now that Robert Mueller is going to go over there and he's going to read to the senators. They obviously don't know how to read themselves. Nadler's coming out and saying, you know something, this report that's been online. Now I got to love this one. The report that's been online and available to anybody and everybody who wants to see it has not been read by the American people. So we're going to do a hearing so that it'll be on TV and the American people can then hear it. Well, if they didn't want to hear it in the first place, what's the purpose here? Now, I don't want to cause any more of a contrarian than most people already know I am. But here's just my inside baseball prediction. I'm going to give this to you, whether you like it or not.
I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
So Iran, have you noticed what's going on in Iran? I'm not going down too big a rabbit trail here, right? They took a British oil tanker, and now they're holding these people hostage. Now, what do you think is going to happen here? How do these two issues tie in? How does the issue of China tie into all of these things as well? Do you think that could be an issue, the China trade talks?
China.
Now, one thing that we know that President Trump does much better than the Democrats, he's able to control the news cycle. There will be some major activity between China and or the Iran issue on Wednesday when Robert Mueller is supposed to be testifying on Capitol Hill. That way it diverts all of the news coverage away from Mueller and the do-nothing Congress. It'll bring it back to the president, and
It is what it is.
that's what we're going to see. Just throw that out there. You see if it happens. Today is Monday. I think it's the 22nd of July, 2 days before the hearing. We'll save this. John will save this for us. When these things come to pass, you'll know that you heard it here first on Ron Siegel Radio. You are listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, we are going to be talking with Debbra Sweet, Thrive Right Consulting. Going to chat a little bit about business, maybe a lot of bit about business. We talk about that all the time. Is renting right for me? Credit Basics 101. We'll be talking about that as well. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, shame on you. But the replay will be available. Ron Siegel 1, Ron Siegel, the numeral 1, on YouTube, Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investment? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text APP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text APP to 79564.
Did you know that banks and credit bureaus are rewarded financially if you have bad credit? And the worse your credit score is, the more money they can make off of you? How does that make you feel, knowing that banks are getting rich off of your hard-earned money? How does it make you feel, knowing that if a bank or a credit bureau makes a mistake on your credit report, they benefit from it? The Fair Credit Report Act of 1971 requires banks and credit bureaus to report only accurate information, and nearly 100% of all credit reports are inaccurate. If you're sick and tired of being broke and tired of being robbed by the banks, you owe it to yourself and to your family to call Rondi. Rondi is a FICO certified credit professional and has helped thousands of people just like you get out of debt and establish great credit. Rondi's number is 855-608-1990. Again, that's 855-608-1990. Or visit creditsanitizer.com. Again, that website is creditsanitizer.com.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694452.
Are you a veteran, police officer, firefighter, doctor, nurse, or teacher? If so, you qualify as one of Ron Siegel's VIP heroes, and we have rewards up to $5,000 or $10,000 when you buy, sell, or refinance a home with one of the Ron Siegel radio partners. As one of the heroes, real estate agents will rebate part of their commission. Lending partners will give a credit at closing. The title company has special published rates, and many other service providers have incentives too. All you need to do is call Ron Siegel Radio at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit VIPHeroProgram.com. Just think about what you will do with all the rebates and incentives from the partners of Ron Siegel Radio. Just call us at 800-306-1990 so we can show you our appreciation for your service.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Well, welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Good morning, Joe. I'm glad to see you with us. Rob, I'm glad you are with us as well. Alex, David. Alex, I see that you've arrived. I'm glad to see that. I'm glad you're safe this morning. Good to see all you with us. We appreciate you all being with us this morning on Ron Siegel Radio. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends over at Gold Star Mortgage. When you're ready for that next mortgage, the first mortgage, maybe right-sizing, downsizing, jumbo home, second home, beach house, desert house, our friends at Gold Star have the programs and the products for you. What is happening in the markets today? Well, the Dow Jones Industrial Average now down 11.83, better than it was earlier than when we looked at it. The NASDAQ is up 48, the S&P 500 up 3.2, the 10-year Treasury at 2.033, and the Universal Mortgage-Backed Securities, formerly known as the Freddie Mac Mortgage-Backed Securities, those are up 13 basis points. 13 basis points up is very good for anybody that's thinking about buying, selling, refinancing, debt. That's enough. That's enough. Save the register. That's good for any of those folks or any of you folks that are thinking about that. When the mortgage-backed securities are up, interest rates are down. It's just a mathematical function right there. But that's the what is happening. The why is it happening is why we ask you to listen to Ron Siegel Radio, because you're not going to hear these things in many other areas. It's global uncertainty is the story of the day. Iran's Revolutionary Guard, which says it seized a British tanker in the Strait of Hormuz on Friday, claiming it failed to follow international marine regulations, like Iran is the one that follows all the rules. Think about that one. Pretty quiet news day, but we're going to be getting a lot of housing data later this week via the FHFA House Price Index. That's my favorite report of the housing price indices. I'll talk to you about that later in the week when it comes out. The new home sales and existing home sales come out. Also, 1/3 of the S&P 500 will report earnings this week. That can easy for me to say, impact the markets. So we're going to be watching all of that for you. I told you earlier in the broadcast about the Boston Fed president, voting member Eric Rosengreen, giving some compelling arguments against a Fed rate cut. Yeah, well, he may have had some compelling arguments, but I still say we will see at least a 25-point rate cut on the 31st, depending on which measure of inflation you look at. His argument maybe has a little bit of merits. Many say that the Fed should cut for insurance purposes. We talked about that. Not a good idea. Mortgage bonds opened up against an important, you're going to love this one, because not many people other than nerds like me understand it's against the Fibonacci level at 102.274. Now, if you understand that, you don't need to listen to the rest of the broadcast because you already know what I'm going to talk about. But once we go through those different levels of resistance or the ceilings, that's when we see bigger moves. So there's about a 36 basis points for bonds to improve. That means the bond price going up, interest rates going down before hitting the next ceiling based on that Fibonacci level. So it's good news for the markets, good news for home buyers, good news for home sellers, because it brings more demand into the market. And we watch all of that for you. That's the Mortgage Minute, again, brought to you by our friends over at Gold Star Mortgage. This morning, we get to have a chat this morning. Debbra Sweet is with us, Thrive Right Consulting. We have a lot of great conversations with Debbra. The beauty of it is more often than not, and one of the things that I love about some of the guests that I bring on, we basically have to plan exactly what we're going to talk about, and we get a whole list of questions. And with Debbra, we just kind of start talking, and we go down these rabbit trails, and where we end, we never have a clue. Not that either one of us would be said to be, well, Debbra is not clueless. Many people say that I am clueless, but that's a different story. Yeah, just a little bit there.
Yeah.
So, good morning.
Good morning. I'm really, really glad you do what you do. Those words, indices,
right?
The Fibonacci report.
There you go.
Okay, man, your tongue is working great.
But then I can't say import, right?
But that's okay.
Like I say, Fibonacci levels, the Keltner channel.
I know, that was awesome. So you're good.
Just the technical stuff that nerds get into.
Now, but that's why you do what you do.
Right.
Because you make it easy for those of us that either don't wrap our mind around what you're doing.
Those of you that are more practical.
Some people would not say that. No, I am practical.
Okay,
practical and fun, but yes.
Practical and fun. I noticed you're a little fun today with the new hairdo.
Lots of fun with this one, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of folks that'll look at pictures of you online and say,
"What'd you do?
Who hijacked Debbra?"
I know. Well, this is just another facet of me.
Another facet of you. All right. Tony, there you go. You can see the new Debbra on there. So what are we talking about today?
We're talking about beyond business. Beyond business.
Okay, I've heard. I'm a stock guy, so I've heard of Beyond Meat, but I don't know.
No idea what that means. Just Beyond Meat.
Right.
What is that?
Okay, it's one of the hottest things in business right now in the restaurant industry.
Oh,
all these non-meat that looks like a hamburger patty.
Vegetarian?
I don't know whether it's vegetarian or it's some sort of a protein patty. Burger King is going crazy on it.
It's so in the marketing world, because that's the other business. That's the other business. So I have two businesses: Sweet Marketing Solutions, Thrive Right. So in the marketing world, we would call that spin.
There you go.
That's a spin. That's a spin moment, right?
Spin moment. Okay.
I was vegetarian for 20 years, so the things that they're bringing to the market. That's like, man, I've been making that for forever, but good. That's okay.
So you're competing with, because I like the eating meat.
No, I eat meat. I said I was vegetarian.
Right, when you were, so I just like to let the cow get a hold of it before I do.
Well, that's just it. And so, I've seen things on Facebook where they say for, what is it? No, I'm probably going to screw this one up, but the memes about the fact that the animals are eating grass.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That was what I was thinking
I know
of.
you were thinking of it.
Okay, so
right.
Beyond business.
Beyond business, yes. So what's
that? We're having a real life.
Say what?
Does that mean you're having a real life?
Working on it.
So you get to go out and do something just outside, beyond just working 25 hours a day?
No, actually, it's just the opposite. It's just the opposite. Let's work less.
I like that idea.
Let's work less, make more money, and feel more complete, more whole, and feel like
I don't need to get any older. I need to get a little smaller in that area.
Yeah, we can talk about that later. And they're done that too. All right. So now what is it? So we talk. I've been up here before, and I love your audience. I love your show. I love working with you. And some business, right? It's super important that we have a business infrastructure that is strong. You have to have a plan. We've talked about this. You have to have a plan for the growth of your business to stay in business for long term. In that plan, you want a marketing plan. You should have a sales team plan. You have fulfillment, right? So there's all these component parts. So I do that day in and day out. And why I'm talking about beyond business is that there's another component that most people forget, or they overlook, or in some cases, they're not sure how to work through or grow through. And that is the one thing that is part of every business, and that's the human.
Okay.
That's the human entity,
sure.
Right? So one of the statistics that I think was a Gallup poll that was done is that 73 to 83% of people that show up to work are very disconnected and very dissatisfied with what they're doing. And that starts out with who they are, because there's this element that a lot of people are aware of, but maybe they don't know what to do, or maybe they're afraid to do something about it. And that is, there's this person, most of us have this idea of ourselves, of who we wanted to be. Like you ask a little kid, what do you want to be when you grow up?
Sure.
So Ron, what did you want to be when you grew up?
You'll love this one.
Okay.
A trash truck driver.
Oh, really?
And that was before they had just the arm that goes out and does everything for you.
So why did you want to be a trash truck driver?
Well, I was pretty young then. I don't remember.
Okay. Well, if you think about it, let me know.
Yeah.
Usually there's a relative line in our life, right? So anyways, we think about how did you use to answer that question, right? What would just totally get you excited?
Most of the time you hear people say a fireman or a policeman. How many times have you had somebody say a trash truck driver to you?
Not too many.
Pretty unique here, I guess. Okay.
That's awesome, though. Although my girlfriend's daughter is talking about getting her license to be a trash truck driver.
Wow. Yep. Okay.
So she's really awesome. So anyway, so
we're having a good time, and I have one of my boys. We're having a good time.
And I don't know how this one went on.
We are going to have a good time today. All right. So the point that I'm leading us into is right here. There's this, think back. For those that are listening in, watching in, think back to when you were a little kid. What did you used to ask? What did you used to answer when somebody said, what do you want to be when you grow up? What used to get your heart excited? And then my question is, are you doing it? Most people are not doing that because we've had these detours along the way, right?
Right.
So, and that's not a bad thing, because as we're growing up, we're going to discover ourselves. And a lot of what's important to us seems to change over the years. But when we land into adulthood, and
I haven't got there yet.
I know. Well, see, I'm doing my life backwards.
There you go.
I did all the heavy, responsible stuff growing up, and now I'm doing it the other way, right?
I like that idea.
Well, this is life beyond business, right?
There you go. Exactly.
So there is a point that I'm going to get to here. So when we show up to work, if you're not happy with who you are, or maybe you're just kind of burnt out in business and you're not sure, you've got a job, you're thankful for the job, but you're just not on fire. There are things that we can do about that to reignite that passion, reignite that tenacity, reignite that inspiration and that desire to do something that really fuels who you are. And why this is important for people who are running businesses or managing is that there's a cost to the business when you have a team of people that are living in disconnect, right? They're not fully engaged or fully passionate about who they are. And the cost, it was like $540 billion a year.
Whew, that's a big number.
It's a big number.
I'm gonna have to understand that better. But you know something? There's another number that you threw out there that I have some insight into 73 to 83% disconnected. We're going to talk about both of those when we come back. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, more with Debbra Sweet. We will chat with her as renting right for me, credit basics 101, all that and more. You can reach me anytime off air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Connect with us. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Siegel Lending Team offers you buying power. Let's say you can afford a monthly mortgage payment, including principal and interest, of around $1,900. With today's rate on a 30-year fixed mortgage of 3.75%, APR 3.85%, that payment could support a $416,000 mortgage. But if you wait and rates tick up to around 6.5%, which is roughly the average home mortgage rate over the past 30 years, that same $1,900 mortgage payment, including principal and interest, may only be able to support a $314,000 mortgage. That's over $100,000 worth of home you're missing out on by waiting. That's buying power. All you need to do to get started is reach out to the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Payment example excludes taxes and insurance. Call us for full details. 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 or SiegelLendingTeam.com. Equal housing lender. Licensed under NMLS number 217037.
Are you purchasing or own a luxury home? If you're like so many others, your home is your largest asset and the mortgage is your largest debt. The Siegel Lending Team has some amazing financing opportunities right now. Jumbo loans up to $2 million, 30-year rates below 4%, 15-year rates near 3.5%, and if you can believe it, 7-year interest-only hybrids in low 3s. The Siegel Lending Team has all the options for your jumbo or second home loan requirements. Take advantage of them while you can. To learn more about all the other financing products available from the Siegel Lending Team, call 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Again, call 1-800-306-1990. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender.
Owners that are 62 and older are about to find out a great way to live a better retirement. It's called a reverse mortgage, and SLT can help you learn more. Call the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990 right now to receive your free booklet with no obligation. It answers questions like how a reverse mortgage works, how much you qualify for, the ways to receive your money, and more. When you call the experts at Siegel Lending Team today, you'll learn the benefits of a government-insured reverse mortgage, how it will eliminate your monthly mortgage payments, and give you tax-free cash from the equity in your home. Here's the best part. You still own your home. Now is the best time to take control of your retirement. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 to get your free brochure. Call today or visit our website at SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Or simply call 800-306-1990.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message. I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text NEST, N-E-S-T, to 79564. Find your dream home before someone else does. Also, hey, get that free tool. I've been bragging about it because I love this tool. Of course, and again, I'm the one that brought it to the market for our listeners, and it's free. The Home Digest. All you have to do is go to www.slthomedigest.com and get the free digest. Tells you all about your real estate, the equity, the value, maybe what the Airbnb price might be on it if you wanted to rent something out. Give you all that information. Again, and it's free. Is renting right for me? If you're currently renting and have dreams of owning your own home, it may be a good time to think about your next move. With rent costs rising annually and many helpful down payment assistance programs available, home ownership may be closer than you realize. According to the 2018 Bank of America Home Buyer Insights Report, 74% of renters plan on buying within the next 5 years. 38% are planning to buy within the next 2 years. When those when those same renters were asked why they disliked renting, 52% said rising rental costs were their top reason. 42% of renters believe their rent will rise every year. The full results of the survey are on our social media channels. We shared them earlier today. No wonder rising rental costs came in as the top answer. The median asking rent price has risen steadily over the last 30 years. We shared that chart. Very fascinating to look at that chart as well. It looks like Mount Everest. That's the way you look at the chart going all the way back. There's a longstanding rule that a household should not spend more than, I don't like this rule, 28% of its income on housing expenses. With nearly half of renters, 48% surveyed, already spending more than that. And with their rents likely to rise again, never a bad idea to reconsider your family's plans and ask yourself if renting is your best angle going forward. When asked why they haven't purchased a home yet, not having enough saved for a down payment, 44% of the time came in as the top response. The report went on to reveal that nearly half of all respondents believe that a 20% down payment is required to buy a home. If you've been listening to Ron Siegel Radio for any length of time, you know that is not true. And you don't have to even have a great FICO score. If you're one of the many renters who are tired of renting and tired of rising rents, but may be confused about what's required to buy a home in today's market, hey, let's get together. Let's chat about it to determine your path for home ownership. That is the real-time real estate segment, again, brought to you by our friends at Gold Star Mortgage, or our area trusted professionals. Hey, get that report. Text NEST, N-E-S-T, to 79564. Talking this morning with Debbra Sweet, Thrive Right Consulting. We had some interesting commentary that we had the last segment, and Deborah and I were talking during the break about a little bit of it. And I found it fascinating that 73 to 83% of the people are disconnected at work, is the way I understood it. And ironically enough, guess when most people are checking their personal email, their Facebook page, their Instagram page, their Twitter page, Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. Fascinating part of that. And, you know, if you think about most people doing that during those hours, and then you came up with the number of $500 billion wasted.
Yeah.
Right? I wonder if it's between 9 and 11, Monday through Friday.
That's part of it. There's another part of it that when we are in a state of disconnect, so meaning that we just feel out of alignment, something's not quite right. And sometimes people are aware of it, but they don't know how to express it. Other times, there are people who they're just not happy. They're not feeling fulfilled, and they feel a little compressed, maybe repressed. Maybe they feel a little bit of oppressed, right? And these type of emotions actually when we talk about emotional IQ, right? Your EQ,
right?
You have on the one side, the highest resonance is the state of joy. And that's where ideally we should be. The other side is the opposite, is the lowest vibration, the lowest energetic resonance on the emotional side has to do with sickness, disease, and death. Now, this happens, I think the correlation here between business and our personal is the same, right? If your company is out of alignment, you're leading teams of people, and if you're in a manager, leader, or a department, or even just yourself, and you have a goal and there's something you're working towards. Number one, if you have a team and that team is disconnected, they're not in alignment, how are you going to achieve that growth goal? If your company's it's not in alignment, it's disconnected. And that happens often, right? We come in and we bring in new ideas and new things that we want to do to help make the business better. But if the people individually are not connected in their own life, how do you expect them to be connected with your vision, right? So hang with me here. So a business can go through a transition where that business, the life cycles, we know that you've got birth, you've got growth, you've got stagnation, maturation, and then sometimes when a company hits a level of maturation, you either have to rebirth or it will die, right? If you have people that are
you're
out
not
of
growing,
alignment.
you're going forward, you're going backward.
Right. So the state of your health of your business can be impacted. That costs you money. On the personal side, though, part of that where those expenses are is it's the same thing. If you are unfulfilled and stress kicks in, and then there's all these other feelings that start, these feelings and emotions that start to impact you, it can literally create physical situations. So not only now are we talking about having people on Facebook and wasting time, wasting money at work, now you have a health aspect that costs money. You've got employees that are having to leave to go get prescriptions, doctor's appointments for a health issue, where sometimes if we're able to help people get into this state of amazing well-being again, back into the place of vitality, where personally they're just understanding who they really are and where they could be excelling, that can reduce personal expenses and it can reduce professional expenses. Is this making sense so far?
So how do you do it though? How do you get people back to that area of where they can excel?
Good question. So this last year, almost a year and not quite 2 years yet, I have actually been helping people through this. I have a program called Beyond Business, and it's actually a very...
I think I just heard that name somewhere before.
You heard that name a little bit, yeah.
Wonder where that might have been.
Okay, so I'm just being very transparent. This is part of the journey I've gone through. Like, there's the person I needed to be, I was supposed to be, and then there's this person I became. And for, let's just say multiple decades, I lived in a state of disconnect. So I was very tenacious. I was very trailblazing, and I did a lot of stuff to try to understand, number one, what was that feeling, right? Number two, how do I fix it? So in the flow of business, I have a leadership development program that I work with people to help them through this. It's an 8-month program. And in the first 8 weeks, there's a micro component called the Infinite 8. And I start to work with teams of people and individuals to help them start to flush out what I call the tells, TELLS. What are the tells? What are the tells of the things that are causing you to feel held back? And when we start to reveal the tells, we flush through the subconscious elements that have been impacting our thought process and how we do things. Now we can bring in new information, build new skills, and people get clarity on their why. It's their personal why. Why are you doing this? That's why I asked you, what did you want to do as you were a little kid, and why did you choose it? So
that's
think
a
about
fascinating thing, because so many people don't ever understand their why, so they never get to where they really want to be.
Exactly. So instead, they spin out and we do things, but just because we're doing things doesn't mean that that's what we're supposed to do. And sometimes you just need to have a what I call pivots in your reason why. Whether you're running the business, you're working a business, your mom, dad at home, or what's really exciting is that there's a lot of we have a lot of second generation. That's what they're being called, second generation entrepreneurs that are coming out. They're coming out of a corporate career, but they're not ready to retire. They're not ready for the rocking chair yet. So what do I want to do? So now we've got a few decades of life and living. Let's get you beyond business. Let's bring that personal part into the state where you're doing business, but your business is thriving and you're thriving, and we are bringing better good into the world.
So is that more of what you would refer to, or what a layman like me might say is more of a balanced life?
It could be, although so I'm going to be contrarian here. There are certain coaches that they give you this little wheel, right? And there's supposed to be like, sometimes there's 8 points on the wheel, sometimes there's 12 of all these little parts of, rate yourself on where you're at on this scale, right? How happy are you? How your finances, your relationships, this, that. In my opinion, round is great. And I actually do like round things, right?
I say the same thing. Round is great.
Okay. I'm going to let that one go. I'm just going to let it go. All right. So, but when you're talking.
I would say round is a shape.
Round is
I'm
a
in
shape.
shape.
Yes, you are in shape. So here's the thing, right? Sometimes when you're moving multiple things ahead, there's an element of balance. There are coaches, and I'm really not speaking ill of them. I'm just saying that I have a different perspective. This has been my perspective, my journey to live my life where everything is perfectly symmetrical doesn't work. That works in your car. You want your vehicle to be, the tires to be round. But sometimes
We're gonna have to go back. We're gonna have to come back to this.
Oh, we're at that time.
So living life symmetrical doesn't work.
Not always.
We're going to talk about that. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. When we come back, I might try to get rid of this echo that's in my ears right now. But when we come back, we're going to also talk about Credit 101. We'll get into that as well. And a symmetrical life. Should we be striving for that? All that and more. You can reach me anytime. Off air number 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990 or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel. If you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investment? Is your credit score over 800? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Most businesses struggle to get the online reviews they need to get a competitive edge over their competition. Rex is a brand new technology that uses text messages to direct happy clients to your online review site, Zillow, Google, Facebook, and Yelp, and unhappy clients to a private survey, so businesses can win more customers. Try Rex today by going to www.meetrex.com. Are you currently renting a home? Do you like paying someone else's mortgage payment? Why not explore the options to purchase your own home? Can you imagine a 30-year fixed-rate loan below 4.25% APR? This means with $10,500, you can purchase a $295,000 home and have a principal and interest payment of about $1,400 per month. What are you paying in rent? Does your family deserve the opportunity to take advantage of the current market? To learn more about these exciting opportunities, the Siegel Lending Team is standing by to speak with you. Call now, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Or 1-800-306-1990. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender. Not endorsed or sponsored by any government agency.
Do you have a goal of mortgage-free home ownership? What if your home was valued at $500,000? Are you aware that a free and clear home could be costing you $2,500 every month, $30,000 per year? The mortgage planners at the Siegel Lending Team would like to show you how you can own your home, generate tax-free income, and accumulate family wealth. You simply need to call the Ron Siegel Team at 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990. By sending the team a copy of your most recent mortgage statement, the team will send you a no-obligation real estate plan. You be the judge if this is right for your family. Again, all you have to do is send the team a copy of your mortgage statement by email to reap@ronsiegelradio.com or call today. Ron Siegel, 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990.
Subject to change and without notice. Licensed by the California DOC and BRE NMLS 217037 and 145502 and Cal BRE 0186945 and 1866775.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message. And I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Your Credit Matters segment today being brought to you by CreditSanitizer.com. You have a credit report, it is wrong. Credit Sanitizer, they've got the solutions for you. Jeff Sipes and his team over there, Credit Sanitizer, Blue Water Credit, they can help you out on that anyway. Credit mix, it does determine 10% of your FICO score. The FICO score considers your mix of credit cards, retail accounts, installment loans, finance company accounts, and mortgage loans. It's not necessary to have one of each, and it's not a good idea to open credit accounts you don't intend to use. The credit mix usually won't be a key factor in determining your FICO score, but it will be more important if your credit report does not have a lot of other information on which to base a score. Having credit cards, but managing, I just gotta love it when something pops up on your screen when you got notes. Having a credit card, but manage them responsibly. Having credit cards and installment loans with a good payment history will raise your FICO score. People with no credit cards tend to be viewed as a higher risk than people who have managed credit cards responsibly. What types of credit accounts you have? Do you have experience with both revolving credit and installment type accounts, or has your credit experience been limited to only one type? How many types of credit accounts? Your FICO score also looks at the total number of accounts you have. How many is too many will vary depending on your overall credit picture. Closing an account doesn't make it go away. A closed account will still show up on your credit report, and its history will be considered by your FICO score. That is the Your Credit Matters segment, again, brought to you by creditsanitizer.com. Again, Jeff Sipes and his team are there waiting to give you a hand in getting your credit report corrected, not the garbage that says, oh, that's not mine. That's a lie if it is yours. But in some instances, hey, maybe an item is on your report that isn't yours. Maybe you've got a mixed report that's posing problems. You want to make sure that does get cleared up, and Jeff and his team can help with that. Chatting this morning, Debbra Sweet, Thrive Right Consulting, is with us this morning. We've been chatting a lot about life balance and beyond business. And before the break, we were talking about getting that symmetrical life. And Deborah, I think, has a contrarian opinion here. So let's see where this one goes.
Let's see where it goes. Right. Okay. So just a quick recap for those just joining in. So what I was talking about is, there's this common statement about work-life balance.
Right.
And what you had asked is, does that mean that everything, this whole concept of beyond business, being whole, right? You as an individual human, when we learn to get all the pieces, we learn how to get the pieces together and get rid of our disconnect. And we show up in life and in business where we just feel complete, on fire and having passion, and we're really committed, and we've got a why, right? You asked, can we live life in balance? And what I was stating is that I don't always agree that there is a way to live life perfectly in balance. Because if you're moving forward, right, if you think about walking or maybe roller skating, rollerblading, right, one leg in front of the other. I'm going to use an analogy for a second. Think about an inline skate, right? You've got four wheels under each skate. Whether you skate or not, you've probably seen a picture of it, right? So if all those wheels are in line, and say all four of those, each wheel is one thing that you're working on, and they go together, they're all in alignment. Then the other skate, you've got four more wheels. Now together, as you push your feet one forward and then the other, you're moving four things together at one time. If you push your right foot and then the left foot, it's the next four. So can we move with both feet at the same time? No. So that's where I'm using the skates as an analogy versus like a wheel that a lot of other coaches talk and use. So in time, you're going to get where your destination is, as long as you have clear vision of your why and where you're going. You have to have clarity in that destination. But when you understand why, your why becomes the catalyst. So now, like if you're walking or you're trying to roller skate, or, using that analogy again, is over time, as you be consistent with passionate momentum, you're going to get to where you're going to go.
So as long as I continue, I might have to push one leg first and then the other leg, but both legs are getting to the same spot.
They're going to get you there, right? But it's super important that you have, and so it's interesting that I've never used this analogy, by the way, of these skates. Right?
Nice.
Because on those skates, they require stability. Those are the inline skates are a little bit more challenging to use than a traditional roller skate, right?
Especially for somebody like me. Right. I can see your mind working there. Right. Yeah, I think I know where Ron's going to go with this one.
No. I'm thinking of myself, right? I'm just thinking about myself because the ankle support. So you have to have that support, and that's that structure we were talking about. So again, let's go back. You talk to business owners. I work with business owners. So even though I'm speaking about living life beyond business, I'm still in the world of business, because this is really about, if you're leading, you are the leader of your company and you're in a disconnected state, how are you going to lead your people? What's that next level growth? You can come in and bring in initiatives and ideas, but if you can't lead by example because you're disconnected, your people are going to know it and feel it. So I don't know. I could just talk about this for a long time.
Well, and it's fascinating because I've watched some organizations, and one of my favorites to have watched over the years has been Chapman University.
Yes.
So when I was at Chapman, it was not a university back then. It was only like 3 or 4 buildings. But when Jim Doty took over, he always had, he was the president of the school. He always had a 5-year plan and a 10-year plan.
And most people don't. That's awesome.
And everybody knew what the 5-year plan was and what the 10-year plan was. And he was always working on that long range vision.
Yes.
And had everybody pulling the rope in the same direction.
That's right.
Now I'm involved with another organization. I'm not going to mention their name because they are the exact opposite. And the president of the organization is always working on putting out today's fires, and nobody knows what the long-term vision is.
And so what's the culture there? Is it a fun place? Are the people that are at that place, are they happy?
No.
Yeah. So that's the whole point. That was a great comparison. When you as a leader are really clear and you're living life beyond business, you're connected, you have this why, you know where you're going, and then you're able to freely and fully share with the people that are supporting you. Wow, this trickles down to your clients, your customers. They're going to feel that. And you're talking about, this is a whole different way to create what all businesses want: client loyalty, making money, having a purpose. But it starts with the human. And having a company that cares about the people that work there, that's a big deal. Because most employees, if they're dissatisfied, they're disconnected, they're talking about it. So now we're bringing in the other side of the coin, which is marketing, right? Marketing. If your employees are not happy with how the company is led and they're not feeling connected personally or professionally, you got a hot mess.
And something, you're so spot on, because I do remember doing some very unscientific market research. Mm-hmm. And I used to chat with some of the employees from one of the very large hotels in Las Vegas, and they used to win all kinds of awards before everything went so corporate there.
Okay.
And they always won these awards. And I'd ask them, it was always customer satisfaction awards. And I said to one of the people, why is it that you guys always win these awards? He says, we just love working here.
Yes.
The owner of the company always knows our name, and they have thousands and thousands of employees. He knows our name. He knows a little bit about our family. He asks about our wife. He asks about the kids. And we just love going to work and working hard and making a great experience for everybody.
Yes.
And it had nobody that I ever talked to ever said one word about salary or compensation.
And people will, because it's about the human condition. It's about being valued as a human. And we've lost that. And I love building businesses, but I'm on fire because I want to help build people so that we can build better business.
And that's the idea right there. And that's why you need to talk to Debbra Sweet. If you've got a business and you're not getting exactly where you want to be, and you might want to know why, give me a call at 800-306-1990. I'll put you in touch with Debbra Sweet. And be sure to set that first radio preset button to come back here every day to join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to John, who's engineering us today. And of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.
I tried to swim again.